now what we are going to look at, we are going to look at the methods and attributes associated with the pandas data frame in Python. So since you already know that for every class you have some of the methods and attributes attached to it, so we are going to look at some of them for pandas data frame. So for pandas library you are having some of the attributes and methods. So dot index is actually what, since you have no round braces after that, it is actually a attribute. Then dot head, dot tail, these are methods. Dot columns is an attribute. Dot info and dot rename is the method you have. So let's look at all of these things one by one. So first we are going to look at the dot index. So as the name suggests, it will just return the indexes of a data frame. So let's say for our this data frame actor df, if I just do actor df dot index, what it will do, it will return all the indexes. So indexes is what, 0 1 2 3. This is the by default index you have. So this is how you can just print the indexes. So I'm just converting that into a list. So you can see these are indexes you have. So next we are going to look at the dot head. So what is that thing, dot head? So dot head will what actually do, it will just pick out some of the top data out of your data frame. So top data means from the with the help of indexes, it will take the top 5 data. So if you just don't provide any values inside that dot head method, it will just extract the top 5 rows. And if you provide any value, let's say dot head, and you are providing 10, so it will extract the top 10 values. So let's see how it will work. So first of all, to see how it works, we need to have some data frame. So let's say we are creating a data frame using array. So this is the np.random.random array we are creating of size 100,5. So you are having 5 columns and 100 rows, and this is the array that you have created. And using that array, now we are creating the data frame that we have already seen. And since you are having 5 columns, for all the columns I am given the some of the column names. So A, B, C, D is the column names that I have given, and I'm just printing the data frame. So you can see this is the data frame you have. So since all of those data set cannot be printed here, so some of the data set in between has been truncated here, and the top and the below one has been shown here. So you can see the last index you are having is the 99, since it is starting with 0, and you have 100 rows and 5 columns. Now what you can do, you can use dot head onto that. So if I just do df dot head, so you can see if I just simply do dot head, what it is doing, it is extracting the first 5 rows. So column, you have no any restrictions, so all of those columns will be getting fetched here. But for rows you are having, since dot head, it will just fetch only top 5 rows. Now if I just provide any value inside that dot head and 10, so it will just fetch the top 10 rows. So this is how you can control dot head. If you provide any value, let's say 20, it will fetch the top 20 row. And now the similarly the same thing dot tail. So it is just reverse of dot head. So if you want to see the last 5 rows, you will provide df dot tail. So it will just provide the last 5 rows. And if you provide any values to that, so if you are providing 10, it will provide the last 10 rows. So this is how you can use dot head and dot tail to look at some of the top and the last values that you want. So all of those rows will be fetched. Next we are going to look at the attribute that is dot column. So dot columns is what, as the name suggests, it will just fetch the column names. So whatever the column names you have for our data set, let's say for this one, what are the column names? A, B, C, D, E. So if I just do df dot columns, it will just fetch the column names A, B, C, D, E. Similarly, if I do on actor df dot columns, so if you remember in actor df, you are having 2 columns, the name of the actors and the age of the actor. So that is why if I just print actor df dot columns, it will just print the name and the age. And since I'm just converting that into list, so that is why this is only 2 value here instead of having like that. So here I'm not providing any list, I'm just printing the columns. So it is giving the full detail out of that. Next we are going to look at the dot info. So the verbal meaning of info is what? So it's just, some basic information. So it will just print some of the basic information about your data frame. So let's say for your data frame, let's say actor df. So what was the data frame you have? So if I just print your actor df, so you can see this is the actor df we have, SRK, Salman and Ranveer. These are the values of ages we have. Now if I just provide actor df dot info, so on this data frame I am providing dot info. So what is the result that we are getting? We are first of all getting that it is a pandas.code data frame class, and then you are having 4 entries and the index are from 0 to 3. You can see from 0 to 3 you have indexes. Then column you are having name and age column, and then non null count. So what is that non null count? So this is actually how many non null values you have. So let's say for SRK you are having values, for Salman you are having values, but for Siddharth you are having a none values for their age. So inside name, since for name all of those values are present, so that is why out of 4 all are non null. But when it comes to age, since you are having a one value that is none, so that is why you are having only 3 non null values, and it is also printing the data type of that column. So for your name column it is having a object data type, that means you can provide any string values, but for age you are having a float data types since all of those values are in float. And it is also giving the memory usage, that means it is taking 192 plus bytes to store that data frame. So that is how we can get the info about any data. So for df also, if you just want to know the info of that df, you can just print df.info, and this is the column names you have. All of those values are non null because all of those values are randomly values that you have created. So if you just see, these are the values you have, and all of those are float values. So that is why all of those columns are float data type. All of those are non null. You have 5 columns, and these are the indexes you have from 0 to 19, and the memory that it is using is 4 KB. So that was for dot info. Next we are going to look at dot rename. So as the name suggests, dot rename, we are actually renaming something. So we are going to actually rename the columns of a data frame. So let's say for your actor df, you are having column names name and age, but somehow you have decided that you want to change the column name. So you have decided that instead of name you will be having a column header name actor name, and instead of age you will be having actor age. So how you can do that? You have to just provide actor df dot rename. So this is the method that you are using, dot rename. And what are the values that you have to pass? So you are passing actually a dictionary, and then after that what you have to pass? You have to pass columns equals to then a dictionary, and inside the dictionary the first value, that means the key, will be having the older column name, and the value corresponding to the key will be having the updated column name that you want. So let's say the older column name is name, and you want the updated column name to be actor name. So that is the value that you are providing. Similarly for age, this is the older column name, and this is the updated column name, and in place is equals to true that you are providing to make it in place operation. So if I just do that, and if I just print that, so you can see instead of having the same column name and age, it is getting changed to actor name and actor age. So that is how you can change the column name of any pandas data frame. So let's say for employee df, you are having, this is the column name, and let's say you decided to change that employee name to single just name, and you don't want to change that income name. So you can just provide the single dictionary which is having a key value pair, which is having the first column name and the updated column name, and that is how you can just convert that, and this is the result of the new data frame. And then the last one is the dot shape. So using dot shape, what you can do, you can simply just get the shape of your data set. So let's say for your data frame, this is the actor df. Actor df is this one actually. So where is it? Yeah, actor df. So what is the shape of your data set? You can see you are having 4 rows and 2 columns, so it will be 4,2. So if I just provide actor df dot shape, it will just provide 4,2. So it becomes handy when you are having a millions of rows of data and you want to know that how many rows you have. So in those cases you can easily get the first value, that means the rows value. So it will just provide the how many rows you have for your data frame. So this is it for this session. From the next session we are going to look at the working with CSV data file. So we are going to directly import some of the CSV data file that is actually similar to Excel file, but yeah, it is different from that. It is comma separated values. So I'll be actually telling you that what is actually CSV file and how you can import that CSV file in Collab notebook using Python, and then convert that into a Pandas data frame, and then we can operate some of the functions and methods of your Pandas library onto that data frame. So I hope you have got all of the concept that I have taught you today, and if you have any doubt you can just ask in the comment box, or you can join the WhatsApp community. And at the last, don't forget to like the videos because it will motivate me and it will also help to reach towards more learners like you. So that is it guys from this session. I'll be meeting soon in the next session. Till then, take care, goodbye.